Sell more homes with smart goal setting. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. My name is Marty. Thank you so much for stopping by and listen about goal setting. Well, this is an interesting topic for me. I've been coaching agents for many years, and unfortunately, the answer to what is your goal for next year or what is your goal for next month is way too often, I don't know, or I want to make as much money as possible. And if you've been listening to this channel for any amount of time, you know that that is not the right answer. Unfortunately, as much money as possible is not a very effective target because you'll never get there. So I want to talk about, smart goal setting and how you can sell more homes with this concept. So in order to do that, I think there are three things that we need to talk about. First will be the 80-20 rule. Number two will be a goal to strive for. And number three will be a negative situation or, a type of a hell that you want to avoid, a place that you don't want to be, right? Super powerful stuff. So number one, the 80-20 rule. You got to understand that in any industry, 20% of the salespeople in that industry do about 80% of the sales volume. And if you don't believe me, you could check this out yourself. Look in your market center and look at the top selling realtors. They're doing a huge majority of the transaction. And then you've got a huge majority of the other realtors doing, a small amount of transactions. This applies to, the economic output of countries. This applies to the yield that any farmland will give. Vilfredo Pareto, the gentleman that identified this concept way back, noticed that 20% of the pea pods in his garden produced 80% of all the peas. So, it's everywhere. In the universe, we see 20% of the stars, they have 80% of the mass of the entire universe. So this is everywhere. You got to understand that. And why is it important to understand that when it comes to goal setting? Well, you've heard it say before that to those who have more will be given. And to those that have less, all will be taken. Now, that's a brutal statement. It is reality. That's the way it is, right? There's a certain inequality when it comes to sales. There's no way that you're going to get 300 salespeople all selling the same amount of homes and then that's it. No, there's going to be clear winners and clear losers. That's just a reality of the situation. So we want to make sure that you end up, being one of those winners and more importantly, feeling like you're a winner. Which brings me to the second concept here that we're talking about is goal setting. Now, last week, we talked about faith in your goals, faith in yourself, believing that you can accomplish something. Well, if you're a first-time, salesperson, this is your first year in real estate, and you're setting yourself a goal to make $500,000 this year, okay, good. That's great. You're better off having a goal than not having one. But is that realistic? It could be. But chances are that you're probably going to be, working your way up to that type of commission in a year. So why not set the bar lower? And that, I know it sounds like weird advice coming from a real estate sales coach to aim lower, but trust me on this. You could shorten that time frame. You could say, okay, $500,000 for the year, but work your way up to that. So for the first month, maybe you just want to make $10,000, right? And then you have something achievable to strive for. Because once you start winning and feel like you're winning, more people will be attracted to you. They'll sort of feel that energy like, oh my God, look, that agent set a goal of making 10,000 and they hit it. They crushed it. They made 12 G's this month. You'll have a happier vibe about you. You'll have a more attractive energy. And then opportunities will weirdly, start appearing for you. It's funny how that works. And if you set a goal of, let's say, 30,000 for the month and then you don't hit it, you miss it by, more than half and you do that same month, you make $12,000, then your energy will be sort of out of whack and you won't have those weird opportunities coming your way because of the vibe that you're projecting out into the universe, right? So that's the important thing. You got to set a goal that you can believe, you can, really, really feel that you can accomplish it. And shorten the time frame, as opposed to setting a goal for the entire year and having it set in stone. Tell me what you're going to do for the next month. Make it smaller, bite-sized pieces. And the third thing I want to talk about is probably the most important concept out of all of this. So humans are, and obviously a very complex organism, right? We have, aspirations. We want to achieve things, but whatever level of effort we put into achieving a goal, we'll put, a multiple amount of times of effort into something that we want to stay away from. So, if we see an example I've heard before is if we see like a nice bush over there with like a few berries in them, strawberries and blackberries, and we're going towards it, but then we have a lion that's chasing us, we're going to run away from that lion and we won't even think about, the berries and the fruits at that moment. So you have to set, yes, a goal to go to, but you also have to imagine, what type of unfortunate situation you could end up being in if you continue on the path that you're going. So if you're not happy where you are right now, if you're not, excited, if there's something that's not going in the right direction in your life right now, I want you to, build an avatar in your head of your future self and imagine how you'll feel a year from now or 5 years from now if you keep going down that same path. If you're not happy with the results that you're getting right now, how are you going to feel a year from now if, things aren't going any better? Your relations, your relationship with your husband or your wife is not going any better. You feel like you haven't seen your kids, enough this year. How's that going to make you feel a year from now if you don't change anything? So, and sorry, I know that the tone of this video is changing a bit, but it's important stuff. You gotta really visualize your future self. If you're not changing anything, are you going to be happy? So that stuff is 10 times more powerful than the goal that you want to reach. And I believe that if you do all those three things, you understand that, there's no equality in sales. I mean, you got to be top. If you want to make a good living out of it, you got to be at the top of the game. Number two, you have to have something to aim at, right? A goal to go for. And number three, there's a certain, negative situation that you want to stay away from. Those three things are super important. And I believe that if you go at it the right way in your goal setting, it's going to be rocket fuel for your motivation. You're going to have so much more energy to go out there and achieve the things that you said that you wanted to do, right? So that's it. That's the three concepts that I have to talk about today for your goal setting. So I hope that you guys are enjoying these videos. I know the tone of this video is maybe a bit different compared to what we're used to, but a great follow-up to this video would be the video that we did on time blocking, and I'll put a link in the comments section below. All right, guys, there's a bunch of you starting to follow me on this channel, and I know 40 subscribers doesn't sound like a lot to most of you, but for me, I mean, that's my fuel, right? Having you guys coming along and commenting in the section down below, that's my motivation. Thank you so much for being here with us, and stay tuned. End of January in 2021, we'll also have a course that we'll be rolling out, and we'll have that information on the channel when the course becomes available. All right, I'll see you guys next week. Ciao.